order to graph it. So I'm going to have to minus 4x first. So those aren't like terms, so I'm just going to have 8y is less than or equal to negative 4x plus 24. Divide everything by 8. So y is less than or equal to, okay, negative 4 divided by 8. So we have to reduce that. So 4/8. 4 goes into here 1 time, and 4 goes into here 2 times. So 4/8 is equal to 1/2. So we have, don't forget the negative, negative 1/2 x, and then 24 divided by 8 is positive 3. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. And then my slope is negative 1/2, so down 1 and always right 2. I always do that. Okay, and then let's determine if it's solid or dotted. There's a line underneath, so it's solid. And then let's see if it's eating the y. Nope, it's not eating the y, so we will not shade up to the sky. So we're going to shade below. And that's it. Now there's only one other thing on this though that you will have to remember. For inequalities, if you ever divide by a negative, then it switches that less than to a greater than, or it would switch a greater than to a less than. So if I have okay, so right here, first we have to get y alone. So I'm going to minus 3x. So then I have negative y is greater than negative 3x plus 7. And then I have a negative on there, so I'm going to have to divide by, and it's really an invisible negative 1. So divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, so that we can get rid of that negative. Now, when you divide by a negative, so here's a trick. If there's ever a negative attached to the y, it's going to end up flipping the sign. So if it's greater than, at the end it's going to be less than. So if you divide by a negative, it's going to switch the sign. Now also, you're going to learn later that if you multiply everything by a negative, that switches the sign too. But for this, you're only going to be dividing. So we're going to have y is, now it's going to be less than. Negative 3 divided by negative 1 is positive 3. 7 divided by negative 1 is negative 7. So let's graph this. So I'm going down to negative 7. And then this is 3 over 1. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay, let's see if it's dotted or solid. So this one is going to be dotted since there is not an or equal or a line underneath it. Okay, and then we have to see, are we going to be shading up to the sky or down to the ground? So it's not eating the y, so it's a less than. So it's less than, so we're going to shade down to the ground. Now, when I taught my students this, sometimes they were having a hard time which way would be down to the ground. And I always made them make a hill and tell me where would the grass be on that hill. Well, the grass would be over here and the sky would be over here. So that would be shading up to the sky, and this one would be shading down to the ground. Because once they get a little bit steeper, it's harder to see where it would be. So just think, where would I draw grass on this mountain? I would draw grass down here. So since it's less than, I'm going to shade the grass instead of the sky. Okay, that should be it.